So it's Tuesday today. I actually forgot to record my trades yesterday because clearly I was too busy being stuck at home, not doing anything. But yesterday, the two trades were MRNA and NVAX. So MRNA yesterday, I was long biased pre-market where they announced the phase 1 positive data for the coronavirus vaccine. So obviously that's extremely good news, and you can see the stock ripped from $72 all the way to $94 pre-market. And I was bullish on the stock, so I was long pre-market, but I flipped short after the market opens, just because we had such an extension of a run. You can see long here pre-market, it was still very early on, only about, I guess that was like 5:30 my time. Long here on the dips and sold into the rips, just purely a momentum trade. Again, pre-market, the size has to be a lot smaller, at least for me. So all of these are long trades. And it's only after we started downtrending that I started flipping short biased, risking this $86 line. And that $86 is an important pivot that we've decided in the pre-market watch list. So I was shorting a little bit here already after longing here. Covered all of that short, so I was all out on that short. But after seeing that we stayed really heavy, that's why I went back in short again on full size after the market opens. I'm shorted here, and covered into the flush, and it actually flipped long again after I see that, okay, we actually sold back down to exactly when the PR was announced. So I covered the shorts here and then went long. And now the long trade wasn't as good and as clean as the trades from pre-market and at the open. The long trades were mostly just scalps. I don't know if you can see, just scalps here, and you can see I started giving back here and here and here as well. So you can see the best trades for me are always the ones before 10:30 a.m. So that was MRNA. The second trade I did yesterday was NVAX. So NVAX, I was actually overall bullish on the stock. I don't think I ever shorted the stock. So the NVAX trade yesterday, they had an upgrade. You can see I started longing here pre-market and added on the dip after the market opens around here. The dip was a lot smaller size because it was purely a sympathy play, in my opinion, to mRNA, because they are both in the same coronavirus vaccine sector. And, I was loaning here, really small size. I wish I had bigger size, of course. I was all out and added back in. And as you can see, the trades on the back, over here, just not as clean as the first few trades. Spot some more here and sold onto the push just because the breakout were not as clean as I had wanted. I went back in a couple more times and just messed it up, basically. So you can see I lost on this trade here and this trade here. But overall, it's still a pretty good long trade along with mRNA. Wish I had a cleaner execution and, of course, a bigger size, because I really wasn't expecting this big of a move. I thought, from 49 all the way to 54, that was already, pretty impressive of a run for NVAX, especially when this is a stock that's just not as reputable as mRNA. Okay, so those were the trades from Monday. So today coming in, I was actually still long bias on mRNA, and it didn't work out. But I was thinking we're gonna do a red to green run. They did announce some offering after hours, but at the time it didn't seem like that big of an offering, and the selling wasn't that heavy until a lot later on, as you can see, where more negative news came out. That's what really tanked the stock. You can see I was longing here, didn't work, cut it. I went back a few more times, made some money here, small profit around 76, sold some more, added back and sold into the rip into 79. That's still a pretty decent $2 to $3 move on a stock like mRNA. And I tried to go back and just didn't work out. So I did give back some on the later part. As usual, the first few trades before 10:30 are the best ones for me. So that was a good long trade on mRNA. The other one is Walmart. it didn't work out that well. As you can see, they had really good earnings. I was expecting more of a run, but it literally just sold off the entire game with the market. You can see I went back trying to long this, trying to see if we'll reclaim VWAP, but it just keeps on rejecting. So I sold for basically only probably like 20 cents profit. So very small win on this, but it's all about knowing the setup and knowing the possibility, but still controlling your risk and stop out or get out when you see that the price action is not going according to plan. The biggest trade for the day for me was ACB. So I don't usually play pot stocks, but today this is a really good setup. You can see we had a really nice run on the daily from $5 all the way to almost $20 yesterday. Today I was more bearish on this just because of how extended we are on the daily chart. So shorted immediately at the open. You can see I started shorting around here, 1860s, and covered some into the flush. And here we retested 1710s. That's also the previous day close, also the red to green line. So I added some more on this bounce, anticipating that we're gonna break down this red to green, and we did. Right after we started breaking, I added even bigger. So we had a very nice flush, basically from $18 all the way to $15.70. That's like almost $3 a share. So I was all out of the short on this part, and actually longed it here. So I actually flipped long around 1580s and sold into the push 16.4. So that's a pretty nice scalp for a long trade, and went back in for a short. In hindsight, of course, shouldn't have covered here. I was thinking we're gonna slowly grind up and retest the highs and plummet again. And the stock literally just stayed really weak all day. So, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Could I either added back in or held this returning short trade? You can see we tanked from 1670s all the way to $14. So, missed a lot of downside. So after reviewing this trade, I still need to work on letting my winners run a lot longer, of course, but still very decent on the day and really happy with that. So today is one of those days where I felt like I kind of underperformed. The stocks that I was watching were kind of choppy with the large caps, and we didn't really pick a direction until midday and later on. And for me, I like to trade the first 2 hours or so of the day, so finish by 10:30, 11. So there weren't really a lot of clean trades. MRNA, small win on this. I was looking for a bigger red to green move. You can see we broke above red to green line, but we quickly broke down, and that's where I scalped a little bit. Was looking for a much bigger move, right? Because a stock like this, when they do go red to green, it's supposed to squeeze all the way to $78, $80. So that's the move I had intended and was looking for. But maybe we'll get that tomorrow. But you can see just small wins on this, nothing big. The other stock I took a loss on is LK. So LK, this stock was halted for a while, and today's the day they finally unhalted. And I was looking to play some, just a technical bounce on the daily, maybe to push towards $4 or something. But you can see I had my entry and it didn't work. So I lost about 10 cents a share. Nothing big, just a small starter size. So another small loser on the day is INO. They gapped up pre-market and we started selling off. I was thinking we might, get a bounce once we found support around 1640s area. And that's why I long starter. When it didn't work, I just got stopped out. So, another small loss on this. So it wasn't like a very clean day for me. A lot of people were playing these low-priced stocks. It's about $1, $2. That's just not really my kind of trade and not something I have in my playbook. So for me, I have to stick to my discipline and stick to what I'm good at. And near the end of the day, I played some earnings on Expedia. They actually missed. So when the earnings number was announced, they missed. I went shorted here about 79, covered into 78. Would have been nice to get a cover around 77, and the stock just ripped, and I scalped a little bit on the long side. So overall, nice little way to end the day. Nothing big today. I know a lot of people are banking on those cheap stocks like CIDM and NNDM on long and short. For me, it it's just not something I like trading, not something I'm as comfortable with, and I just have to follow my own rules. So a lot going on today. So a lot of these lower price stocks has been gapping up like crazy. CLSK was one of them. This one actually gapped up after hours yesterday. Yeah, it started running around 4 o'clock. And today, I was leaning short. So I started some at the market open and adding in bigger once $3 was, this proven to be a lot of sellers around $3 area, both on tape and also on the charts. You can see that, right? All these wicks to retest the highs keep on failing, and that's why I know, it's not. There's too many selling pressure up there. It's not likely gonna be able to reclaim and rip higher, and that's why I started building my position. And would have, could have, should have added a lot bigger instead of covering the rest of my position here. This is where I should have added, but I was also in a few other trades at the same time, and it's difficult for me personally to be in multiple trades full size at the same time. Either I have to, just take profit on most of it and set a stop and let the rest ride, or, I get stopped out like this. And, it's still a win, but could have been executed a lot better. You can see, I missed a lot of downside all the way to 225s. And then my best cover was up here, 268. So left a lot on the table and should have really sized in a lot bigger too. But, that's the first trade on the day, and there's a few other ones. So the second one of these lower float runners is SNCA. This is a stock I've shorted in the past before. If you look at the daily chart, it's a piece of crap company, right? This is the day where they had the ATM offering midday from $4. So, there's no way I'm gonna long this kind of crap. So I started in short, and it's a very similar story as CLSK. I was kind of trading both of them and a few other stocks at the same time, and I wasn't able to be patient enough and scale in to the size I really want on any of them. So I had a decent size on this, started in some here and added more here, and really like $2 would have been the place to add in bigger, but we didn't get to $2 on this first trade right here. And so, I did add some here and then scaled into this and then, covered into the dips and stopped out on the rest because, it was bullish, it's going higher. But anyhow, still a very nice trade. It's just, could have had taken more advantage of this stock up here on $2, but still a decent trade. The third stock is SURF. So I actually longed a little bit in here, just as scalps, but by the time I found out about this ticker, the stock has already been up here. And the funny thing is I don't remember this trade. I don't know why, but it looks like I shorted this and then covered into this. I actually don't remember trading this down here, so I don't know what's happening. But anyways, I shorted some, and I think I added more here. And when I covered, I had a few long scalps in this. This ticker was a difficult read because, it chopped around here for a while. Every time it looks like it's gonna break down, someone big just comes in to buy the bid. So that's why the execution-wise was really indecisive on this, because I had size on at one point on the short side, but I want to be cautious because it just looks like they were trapping shorts up here. So, and that's why I took my profit rather quickly, but that's still like pretty nice, 80 cents. I'm not gonna complain. And I set stops on the rest here and I got stopped out. But all the while I had some short on. I shorted a little bit more here, but I was looking for like a crack of this level and going to fade all the way down. But the fact that it held, that's what I covered. And good thing I did because it ripped higher and retest new highs. But it's still a very nice trade on this, even though I didn't catch all the move on the long side or the short side. The whole idea is to protect my capital, protect my profits on the day. I'm not gonna aim for home runs like this. I think this will be a very nice play for us tomorrow. The last stock on the day, so finally it's not one of these lower priced penny stocks. It's MRNA. It's this stock again. Like traded time and again. I actually didn't know why it was tanking at the market open. And then after I found out about the news, that's why I was thinking, okay, I shouldn't have loaned this. So I loaned it for like a tiny scalp here, and I found out about the news. So you always want to know what's the news catalyst that's driving the stock to make such a big move. I thought this was just dipping with SPY because any morning SPY was dipping a little bit at the open. But after I found out about the news, that's where, I was looking for entries to short because I don't want to short chasing here. That's why I got to VWAP rejection here, started scaling in, paid myself some, and once it really stays heavy and break down, that's why I added here and added even bigger and got a nice flush all the way to $65. So this is actually the biggest winner for me on the day, not one of those penny stocks. Those are really nice gains that added up, but this is the big move that makes the most of my money. So very nice short trade. I'm really happy about it. I didn't re-add, but after seeing that we're holding this double bottom, that's why I covered on this first short trade and had a little bit more here. But the action just wasn't as clean anymore after 11:30. So that's why I cut it, and the stock just kind of traded sideways for the rest of the day. Happy Friday. Had a couple of nice trades today, and MDGS started this one pre-market short 380s and should have added, would have, could have, should have. It just didn't pop high enough for me to add. At the open, I was thinking at these 367s, but didn't get that and just covered. Took the meat of the move and moved on. Second trade on the day, beat BABA. So they actually beat on earnings and revenue, EPS, everything was great. But, something was said in the conference call that caused the stock to tank. Something to do with the Senate bill passing for all the Chinese companies essentially has to report directly to the SEC in the States. So that could be why, but I have to check the details of the conference call. But I was actually long biased after the stock literally tanked from 212 all the way to 200 within like an hour, and I was looking for a reversal to go long. As you can see, once bottom set, started in small size, sold some and added back. Once we start setting a higher low on the 3-minute, as you can see, sold some more and added even bigger, and then sold everything onto the push here at 204 and just left it. Didn't go back, but it was a nice gain on the day for BABA. The loser on the day for me is ROKU. I actually went in long thinking that we're gonna get a bounce on the daily, but we didn't get that. So I stopped out on my starter size. Thank God I did. And then flip short. Once we break down this key level, I identified pre-market 112s. Flip short, but a little bit too slow on the entry on the short side. So shorted and added bigger didn't work out that well, so started covering into this. So overall, ROKU is a loser on the day. This would have been a perfect entry to re-add short now that I look at it, but was just looking at something else. But a loss is a loss. And then there were a couple other plays. So the biggest winner on the day is NAVB. So they had some sort of news after hours yesterday, and then it started running from 160 all the way to 350s. This morning, I didn't get in on the spike. That would have been the perfect entry. I was playing a few of the stocks at the time, but I did get in here around this VWAP retest about 280s and 290s. So that gave me some very nice ads and covered into 240s and re-added some here and covered into low of the day and then re-attacked it again midday around here, 260s, nothing big, and then covered into this. And I didn't want to hold anything overnight. So overall, a pretty clean Friday. We didn't have a lot of crazy plays, but there's definitely setups there to take base hits everywhere. But NAVB was a very nice big winner on the day for me. So we have Monday off, and I'm actually really sad because there's nothing to do then. If you're a stock market addict, long weekends are like torture. But hopefully everyone had a good long weekend, and we'll see you next week. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.